Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a fun project to share with you featuring the Thankful and Blessed bundle by the Greetery. Just came out in their August release, and this is a stamp and stencil kind of duo. They come together. There's 3 stencils. There's also a coordinating die set for some of the larger sentiments and images, but on the back of the packaging it kind of gives you an idea of the layout of the stenciling. There's some color inspiration that you can use if you choose to, but I love this set. I think it's so pretty and tasteful. You know, the Greetery always kills it. I do want to mention, if you use it as recommended, of course you can always use it in different ways, but this will create a larger card. So I'm scoring a piece of Rustic cream cardstock to make a 5x7 inch card. Rustic cream is by Papertrey ink, and I'll have all the supplies and products that I use listed in the description box. Holding it down, Post-it tape. I'm going to get to stenciling. There's 3 stencils. They are numbered. I don't think it really matters if you go in order, but I do want to show you how they're numbered. And the stencils are 5x7. So if you have a 5x7 panel, it'll be really easy to line them up. Again, holding the stencils down with Post-it tape. I know I've got the sticky mats for the stenciling. I have all the sticky mats, and I always forget to pull them out. Okay, so they recommend a pink and a teal. You can do that. It would look beautiful, or you can do something different. I'm going to just pull out whatever I feel. I'm going to be using Concord 9th inks. Of course, you could use any ink that toots your flute. Okay, so I'm starting with Dragonfruit. There are 2 different little bloom or foliage clusters in this first stencil. That's why they recommended 2 different colors, so you could get, maximum color. So I'm doing these small little star-like blooms with the Dragonfruit. And then for the other type of foliage, I'm going to use Stardust. Okay, but if you want to just do the whole stencil one color, you can do that too. So it's really adaptable, customizable. Okay, and then now I do, as always, when I blend, I like to do gradient love. So I'll do one area darker and then kind of fade it a little bit lighter. It's just my cup of tea. Now here's Stardust. It's like this it's like a cross between a yellow, orange, and green. It's got a little chartreuse in there, and I love it with Dragonfruit. Okay, so again, going a little heavier handed in some parts, lighter in other parts. So that's stencil 1. Very easy. Small little areas to give you this kind of oval floral frame. Laying down stencil number 2, and I'm going to pull out Cayenne, which to me screams fall. But you know what I've noticed? Cayenne, she's juicy. She is juicy. So when you ink her up, you're going to come in hot. And I like to, sometimes I come in on the stencil, and then I kind of drag that color. So it comes in hot, and then it kind of fades out. You probably know this if you work with your inks. Some inks are juicier than others, and some are more dry. You just kind of got to get to know it. Okay, so that's stencil 2, and there's only 1 stencil left. It's very easy. Now this one is like the veins to the leaves and the dots to the little tiny blooms. So for the veins, I'm doing Cayenne again. So it'll give like a tone on tone. I'm just going a little bit heavier handed so I know that this is darker and it shows up on those Cayenne leaves. And then for the little dots on the teeny tiny little blooms, I decided to go black. So I wasn't exactly sure what would show up on those dark Dragonfruit blooms. So I did black. And I'm using one of the small little detail brushes. I think these are by Waffle Flower. And I'm just kind of pouncing. Just a pa-pa-pa will give you a little dot in the center of those blooms. Like that. And then now your stenciling is done. It was very, very easy. For the last part that fills in all the gaps, you use the stamp set, which I should have done right now, but I forgot. I moved on to the card. So I pulled out, this is the Capsule Basic die set. It's also a new one, and I'll have it linked. I'm using the largest oval. The Capsule Basic die set is basically like a nesting die set with ovals and scalloped ovals. So I created a large oval in a panel of 5x7 rustic cream. I die cut that in, and it kind of frames the stenciled part. You could pop this up. I'm just going to glue it flat down. I'm using the Pawsitively Perfect craft glue mini by Simon's Stamp, and I'm gluing this right on there. It creates this perfect little tone on tone frame. So I'm keeping with the cream and the autumnal colors. Now I took what was left over in that oval die cut, and I'm using a smaller oval, and this is going to create a panel on the inside of the stenciled area. So I'm taking these off camera, running through my die cutting machine. Now look how this fits right in there. This is where I'm going to house the sentiment. Now moving on to the sentiment, there are several different ones in the Thankful and Blessed stamp set. I'm stamping Thankful and Blessed with Cayenne ink onto some sorbet cardstock. And this will give it kind of a tone on tone sentiment, and I'm drawing from those colors that I stenciled with. So it all kind of ties together. And then there's also an ampersand, which I'm going to do with Stardust ink onto a little bit of Stardust cardstock. Again, that was one of the colors that I blended with, and just tying it all in. And then for the little sub sentiments, you'll see I will stamp those with black ink. Okay, once I got everything stamped, I'm using the coordinating dies to cut these out, and I have my little mini Anna Griffin impress machine, which I have completely fallen in love with having a mini. I did not need another die cutting machine, but I gotta tell you what, I love it. I love it. Okay, so see how this all comes together. The Thankful kind of arches with that oval, and then Blessed is straight across, and then you got your ampersand that's going to go right in the middle. So then you have your little sub sentiments, and there are several to choose from in the stamp set, so you can pick different sentiments. I have Thankful for You and Blessed to have you in my life. I love how the sentiments arch to kind of match the oval. Now before I put this down, before I stick that down, I realized I had to stamp the rest of my floral foliage fall design. So this is from the stamp set, and it just lines right up and nestles in there. And I'm going to use LATTE ink. This is by Simon's Stamp and is a very, very light brown. And I think it looks nice on that cream cardstock. It's not really like bringing in another color. It's just giving kind of a neutral, very soft brown. And then I popped up that center oval using a little bit of Big Mama foam tape. It's a thin foam tape. And then I went ahead and die cut an extra one of the Thankful and the Blessed, and I'm going to stack them up. So only two. It's not getting too thick, but it gives it just a smidge of dimension. And that'll give a little shadow, little fun. Okay, so, and then I also do that with the ampersand. I stacked up with one extra die cut. Okay, so gluing these down, and this is gonna go right above the For You. So Thankful for You and Blessed to have you in my life. Isn't that so pretty? I love this card, and I think it's so pretty for fall. Great for the Thanksgiving time. Stacked up the ampersand, gluing it right in the middle. I love an ampersand. And I'm also stamping some little leafy viney clusters with that same LATTE ink. It's a little risky stamping things when you've already popped them up, but I took that risk, and I think it paid off. Okay, this card is finished. I love how it looks. It's got the neutral, but it's got the pop. It's got the fall, and I love the sentiment. Very heartfelt. Check out what the rest of the Greetery has created with these. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.